Hello, and welcome to the Team Uninkables Podcast. My name is Corwin, and today I'm joined by my special guest.
Cory from Team Delinkuents.
And Amanda from Team Delinquents.
And we're here again just to talk about Corey's really cool Sapphire Ruby deck after we just talked about the questing with Amanda charity campaign. Uh, Today, we just want to dig deep into and lock in on a red blue deck that honestly I think has been going under everyone's radar right now. And we had our 3v3 tournament recently, and this deck kind of caught everyone off guard. It performed very well, and I really just wanted to highlight it just because I thought it was such a cool deck, and just also to highlight Corey as a community member. Corey, let me ask you, bro, what brought you to Red Blue after a rotation?
So, funny enough, it was trying to figure out for the 3v3 team event what colors would be best for each of us to play. We went down the list of what the best decks were, and then if we went with that, what color combinations would pair up well into that. If we're going with a mid-range deck, an aggro deck, or a control deck, and we just went
Mhm.
through every single possibilities that we could. We decided pretty early in the run that none of us were going to run Blurple for this event. We didn't want to have that kind of stigmatism to it. So we just went to okay, what are the next best decks? And we went with the Amethyst Steel deck that one of my friends, Chase, played at CCS. He updated his list from there. He was pretty strong on it. So we had him play that. We did an updated version of my fiance's underdog deck, the Under the Sea dogs that my friend Jason played. And the only color combination left over after that, of course, was this. And originally tried seeing okay, what are the traditional Tamatoa lines? Could we make that work? And we scrapped that idea pretty early in the testing, because there just aren't. It's just not good enough if you don't have a board wipe. And we settled on the list that we've compiled now.
I mean, it's a great list and very interesting. So you did try what I'm assuming is like an items build of Red Blue.
Yes.
What items were you trying?
Specifically, we were trying other items that seemed like they had some utility. You can kind of sort of see it here in the list now with the medallion still made the cut. But other
Fair.
items that we tried, of course, were Merlin's bag, I think of what it was called.
Carpet bag,
Just
yeah, Marlin's carpet bag.
there was a couple items that you could pop to give attack to characters. There was a potion, I believe. I can't remember what it was called. But being able to loop items with Tamatoa, like the 6 mana one, to try and retain value
Yeah.
and just play something. We tried it and it just didn't have that oomph. Like you couldn't, if you got behind on the board, you couldn't recover easily. So we just inevitably ended up scrapping that idea for more of a control-centric deck from how the format was developing.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I think Tamatoa is kind of like out for right now until like items really come back, which I really do hope eventually happens. Maybe with the next set. I feel like items really got kind of the short end of the stick after rotation. There's some really interesting cards here that I have not really seen elsewhere. First off, like the one drop Nick Wild. What brought you to that one drop in particular? Was it just a lack of one drops, or was that like a very specific choice?
So, funny enough, was a very specific choice. I needed something that could fill the role as a good one drop that could inevitably have two or more power. That would help me at least advance a board state against aggro or the more aggressive tempo decks. Something that I could just do Sail the Azurite Sea, and with the extra mana floating, play a one drop. Basil is probably one of the best one drops in blue right now. There's no other
I
card
would
like it.
agree.
So we were trying to find
Yeah.
something worked just as well as that. And eventually we just settled on Nick Wild, because if you just have Basil in play, or if you play a Nick, there will be decks that go, oh, it's a 1/2, I can quest safely against it. And you play Basil and they just lose their 1-drop. And from there, just as long as you're able to just keep up your board state against most decks, it's very easy for this deck to just completely take control of the game.
Yeah, I can see, because like you also got like Tipo, you got three little Sisus in here. I'm assuming that's probably for like Tiana and stuff like that, and like Ember Steel.
It is 100% Tiana.
Yeah, yeah. So you did mention the medallion weights. Like it's the one item that actually stuck around after you scrapped the Tamatoa idea. How did that perform for you?
The math behind it, specifically being able to play it for 2, pay 2 to give something +2 power. When we first initially made the deck, we knew that if it was going to play like the traditional blue-red decks of the past, you're not going to have much hand left over. So we needed a way in order to continue your value, such as the medallions came to mind, the Queen of Hearts came to mind. And we
Sure.
needed a way in order to make sure that we were able to keep up the pressure. And the math behind it is really great too, because if you have like even a Pleakley out, or Moana, for example, I have that in here as a 3 of, because it punishes the
Yeah.
Genie line, punishes Elsa if you medallion. It not only takes out that threat, but it also gains you a card too. And the math behind it too, if you go Tipo on 2 and you ramp, most players are going to quest out against Tipo, but when I go on my turn 3 in Ink, I have exactly 4 mana to play Medallion, activate it, Tipo, take out something, and it replaces itself. And a lot of decks just did not respect the Medallion draw power, and if I played it early enough, just having it out would make some decks just stalemate to where they would refuse to quest because they didn't want to give me value. And the later the game goes on, the better this deck gets.
Yeah, I was about to say, because you have a lot of top end, like a terrifying amount of top end in this. I was looking at the bottom row of this deck on Dreamborn, and golly,
Oh,
not even Blurple would be able to survive this onslaught of top end characters. Like they would be well out of resources by this point. So you have 6 evasive 6-drops,
mhm.
and you chose 4 Robin Hood and 2 Maui Shark. Now, I'm just assuming if you're playing red, you probably want to be running full shark. I feel like if you're gonna play red, shark's reason. But I would love to be told otherwise.
So a little bit of a correction. It's not 6, it's actually 9. We're also on 3 of the
Right.
Ace of Haste Goofies. Uh,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I totally missed the goofy there. Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
uh, behind that particular curve line specifically. Before I played this deck at CCS, I actually did really well with Blue Steel. I was 20th place going from day 1 into day 2. And I ended up fumbling it, some bad draws, some misplays on my part. I think I ended up getting 52nd by the end of all of it. But the main thing I wanted to make sure to have with this is that I wanted this deck to play like Blue Steel. I wanted to make sure that regardless of whatever red cards I threw into this, I wanted to make sure that my blue lineup was just like that. So if we're able to go turn 1 drop, it doesn't matter. If we go turn 2 Tipo, ink a card, turn 3, we can sail and then double ink, Pleakley, put Tipo into the inkwell. That way on turn 4, if you don't have an inkable, you're casting a 6-drop, or if you do, you're up to your 7th slot. So being able to play Blue Robin Hood at the same turn that most decks are playing their genies, well, now you have a 4/4 genie while they have their 2/4 genie. Or if they go first and they do play a genie and quest out with it, now your Goofy answers the genie. Specifically when it comes to just running 2 Maui Sharks, it was originally 4, but since I'm not on the Pirate's Life package, the only real options I can get back with it is Visions to find something, Sail to draw a card and get an extra ink, or of course the sweet card Energy Blast. So I didn't feel like it was a necessity to have multiple copies of it. It's more so utility card to get back a utility card, specifically Energy Blast, to where Maui Shark can take out something, get back Energy Blast, take something else out, and just replenish itself. It's more of an extender rather than a necessity.
Interesting. So, Maui Shark became more like almost like a Maleficent dragon at that point. Like it's just firing and nuking things off the board. Like every time you challenge into one thing, then you get back the blast, and you blast another thing off the board. That's really
I even think there was one of the
um
games I stream against the what was it, the Emerald Sapphire deck, where we both ramped out our hands because I knew he was wanting to play Clarabelle. He inked everything, played a Clarabelle, and drew a single card. And I just energy blasted Clarabelle, and from that point on, he had a bunch of ink. He was drawing nothing, and my top decks after that was 7-drop, 8-drop. Like I was getting my big stuff while he was trying to find his stuff.
this deck mm, I don't know if I expect green blue. I might want to play this.
The green blue
uh
matchup very heavily in your favor because most of the time they're just going to be bouncing your characters back to your hand, and if they want to bounce back a Robin Hood for extra draw, or Hades for an extra ink, or even bounce a
yeah, that's what
Maleficent
I'm
back,
saying.
it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah, they're only good answers, Hades, but there's only 4 Hades in their deck. So I mean, and you got effectively like 10. Because you
And
got
that's
the
where
4 Hades, you got the 4 dragons, and you got 2 energy blasts that you can recycle sharp.
And
Dang
that's
it.
where we come in at for the Mufasa line, because that was my sweet tech against Blurple. Funny enough, because the only way that Blurple has answers to your characters, other than just removing them with combat, is just putting them into your inkwell. So if they're putting your Hades or your dragons, my shark into the inkwell, that's great. I'll drop Mufasa, have a possibility of getting back 2 big answers, and if they don't answer the Mufasa, I'm playing 2 big dudes a turn.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because, like, I was looking at the Mufasa. I was just about to ask you about that, but that makes sense because I thought maybe it was just for you to double play some of these big threats, like if you're drawing multiple cards with like Energy Blast or the Medallion Weights. Then it's like, oh, okay, I'm expecting you to like play one dragon and then you quest with the Mufasa, and then like you play like a Hades or something that you drew. I know you mentioned her earlier, but the Moana, um, because I know in red you have 2 Moanas. You have this one, and then you have the one that gives like basically like the Merlin Crab boost, and I
Yes.
love that card, like the 4/3 Moana. Was it just the stat line that made you decide that you run this Moana instead?
So originally, I did have the other Moana in for the stat line just because it could efficiently trade with genies. The issue was is that it was good against the genie matchups, but it was very bad into the steel matchups because only having 3 toughness against like a
Oh yeah.
Strength of a Raging Fire or a Smash,
Mm.
even. A lot of decks are on that card now too. It just did not feel good to basically just lose an entire turn playing an answer for something, and now you have to wait 2 turns to try and answer it again. So we tested out. I tested this Moana out, and the math behind it with the medallions, funny enough, is the reason why we ended up sticking with it. Because not only could it take out most evasive threats, it also sticks around to do it again. And having that, or being able to curve that into the Queen of Hearts, even a lot of decks just don't respect the draw power that this deck has when it comes to just being able to challenge characters.
Yeah, funny enough, I'm like looking at this and now I'm thinking like, oh no, like we lost all of our card draw, and like you're sitting over here playing red blue like as if it's pre-rotation. Like I don't know what you're talking about. I got a full hand still. Because set champs are coming up at the time of this video. It'll be to start this weekend. Would you take this like for a set champs? Like, are you like was this specifically just for the 3v3, or do you like think, oh yeah, no, like I'm like legit thinking about it as like a real meta contender?
So originally, when we first built it and playtesting it, it was just for the 3v3 event. Because again, like looking at all the meta decks, red blue is like at the very bottom of the barrel right now. And I personally didn't think the deck had legs until we made the changes to it and started testing against it. We tested this deck against every meta threat, and it had a very good matchup into a lot of decks. The only one it still kind of struggles with is the more aggressive style decks of like Amber Steel. I'm still actually adjusting to it now to where I'm testing the 4-2 Gaston instead of Nick, just to have that extra just oomph to do to get past a bodyguard or just have something to deal with Daisy on turn one.
Cool. Oh,
The
dude,
math,
you're just bringing it back.
the math behind him too with Medallion, now that'll give him 6 toughness to where he can trade with the Hades and draw a card. Like, just always trying new things with the deck to see how well it would do against different meta decks. Personally, if I did take this deck, I don't know if it'd be my own locals because the surprise factor is kind of already out of the bag for it. But if it's to a random set champs that don't know me, 100%, I would gladly take this and I would have a fun. Even if I didn't win, I definitely would make people be talking about the deck by the end of the day.
I really hope you do. You're gonna have to like keep in touch with me and let me know how you do if you bring this. But yeah, I mean, this is such a cool list, man. Like, I really can't get over how cool this list is. Like,
It definitely surprised
I
me when playtesting it. Oh, the other card that I just noticed that we haven't mentioned or anything is Kita. Kita in
oh
this
yeah,
phase. I was running it as a 4 of just as a card I can play on 3. A lot of people don't realize that it has wards, so they have to challenge into it. It's another way of ramping just in case if I don't hit my ramp cards, because a lot of my top end being uninkable is it's not really an issue if you look for your ramp, but you can get stuck behind sometimes. And in the matchup, I think it was round 3 against Blurple, I was able to get both a Mufasa and a Kita out at the same time. And being able to set up my top decks with Kita, use the medallion to draw the card I put back on top, use Mufasa to ready the ink that I just put into the inkwell with Kita, playing 2 big things a turn on top of that too. Like Kita being able to not only ramp you, but since it has a ward, it forces the opponent to break a parity to where they can't stalemate against you. If they attack into the Kita, then great. Now I can attack you back with my Queen of Hearts, my medallion. It just forces them to react to what you're doing versus you being the control deck.
but that's so cool though because like with the Queen of Hearts and the medallion weights, after they challenge into your Kita, you don't really care because first off, you're dealing 3 damage back to something, and then on top of that, you've already gotten the value on Kita. Like you've already rammed and you've already picked your top deck, so you're kind of like okay with it regardless. But then what's cool is with Queen and Medallion, you're drawing at least 1 card. You're replacing her
So
effectively.
it's almost
Yeah.
a 3 or even 4 for 1 if they trade into the Kita to make it to where you can't attack into it because you're getting rid of one of their cards, you're ramping.
Yeah, like that. Because that's the interesting thing I'm now like seeing this Kita because I think that's part of why I didn't mention it to be honest with you because I kind of almost forgot about it because it's one of those cards that like you see in the list, like another blue list, and typically she kind of just does her thing and then usually dies, and her 3/3 stat line usually isn't that impactful enough in other decks. This deck, however, seems to be leaning much harder into the fact that like yeah, you can challenge into her, but now I can just react with like a Nick Wild, a Tipo boosted by Medallion Waves or something, and now I'm replacing both of them. Like that's crazy, man. That's
Oh, yeah.
why. But yeah, I just gotta say, man, thank you so much for like showing off the deck list. We'll have it up on somewhere on the video. But I just want to say again, thank you because this was such a cool list. You were definitely a highlight of the tournament. Like honestly, like everyone was talking about your deck. Um, I remember listening to the stream. I had my earbud in while I was organizing the event, and as soon as like your colors were submitted, uh, everyone got excited. And actually, uh, I have to find the name of the person, but we had a couple YouTube comments, and someone subscribed to the channel specifically for your deck, for a deck. Yep, I saw that. I was like, I gotta get Cory on here because that was so cool. Like, yeah, that was the actually goaded deck list that no one expected. Let me get him on here. It's such a cool list, man. And congrats on making second on that tournament run, by the way. Like, seriously, that was a hard fought one for us, but y'all y'all made it tough, and this deck was definitely a big part of it.
We definitely had a lot of fun, and thank you again for inviting us to begin with. We had so much fun for the event. The drive up there was definitely a lot of fun, and it was just a good time for
Oh,
everyone that we had.
yeah, I mean, really, it like I mentioned this to Dick Burns, I was like, and a lot of my team too. I was like, dude, that's just felt like a party. A lot of people just had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a good time. But I'm looking forward to the next one. We're already trying to think of what the next event's gonna be. Over on the Uninkables side of things. Yeah. Uh, I hope this is a useful resource for the Lorcana players out and about, and especially in our community here in North Carolina. You know, if you're watching this, we'll have the deck list, and I hope people tinker with this and really give Red Blue a shot because I know I will. I think Corey really found something with this list. I think he really cooked and made something good here that a lot of people should actually give a shot. So
We
with that, hmm?
definitely recommend getting out to it. If you enjoy the play lines of the blue steel deck that's very popular right now, it's a lot of the same lines. I highly recommend the people that enjoy that deck to give this deck a try too. You'll definitely be surprised.
100%, yeah. Uh, definitely. I'm actually the Blue Steel mid range fan, so now I'm definitely gonna have to try this. Um, and with that, I think we will take it off here. Uh, well, we're all gonna take off. My name is Corwin from Team Uninkables, and with me,
Yep, we got Cory from Team Delinkuents and
Amanda.
and it was fun, y'all. It's great having you, and keep questing out there. Have a good one.
take care, y'all.